Because you can material change even when it's overheated. It won't let you do anything else. You can still material change.
And something else I wanted to talk about was like the lag, and that's the most annoying thing to run into when you're 80, 90% into a level and then it starts lagging and you're not really sure why. I became kind of known at the start of the PSP creating as, I remember someone even wrote me saying they think of me as synonymous with lag because all of my levels lagged, which is not something that made me happy, but
Yeah, that's
it was
not awesome.
yeah, certainly proof that I was having issues. And I think one of the problems was my levels were getting worse and worse with lag as I went along up to Shallow Springs, which was just, yeah, that level was laggy. So
It's a good thing it's as awesome as it was. It is very laggy. It's not the worst out there, but yeah, it's definitely noticeable.
I think the only thing that made that forgivable a little was the fact that there was no, like, timing, like, I don't know, you never had to do anything that was pressured, you just kind of played it, so you got used to the lag and didn't really mess with anything after you kind of became accustomed to it, but it's still, it sucks, and at a level like that, I don't know if there was anything I could have done, but a lot of times there are things you can do to fix the lag.
Well, and for me, it kind of made the level seem bigger because it took so much longer to get from what I'm getting. Yeah, it's pretty tough when you get a lot of tech in the background because I know that you've got insane amounts of tech going on off screen. It just happens. It's pretty hard to control. You just try to reduce the number of vertices, reduce moving objects. If the player's not around, just put a proximity switch. That won't help with thermal, but it helps with lag.
And also,
gas, right?
being careful with gas, and that's something I forget when I think I found that out with Destiny 2, but I also talked to Salieri, and he had a problem with Crisis in Camelot, I think, and he fixed it also.
Rocket Town, I think.
Oh, okay, it was Rocket Town. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And it was also a gas-related issue, so just be careful having huge volumes of gas in the spot, and especially having any gas moving. When you have gas moving, it's probably going to cause slowdown.
Yep.
Wait, well, I want to mention one other thing, and that's
Sure.
I've run into this once, and you got to experience it with me. It was when I tried to publish Destiny 2 and it wouldn't publish. And I think you run into that too, right?
Yes, I have run into that, and that's kind of scary.
And I even talked to Ace Creator about that. It just didn't make any sense. The level wasn't corrupt. It didn't give anything wrong with it, but it just wouldn't publish. And it's usually I think it's an issue of you're using too much of something. So in my case, I had I think I had more than one, but I had too many magic mouths. And it doesn't make your thermo max out, but there's like a separate thermo for different types of items. And if you run into that issue, the best way to fix it is just to go through the level and delete different parts of the level until you can publish. And then try to figure out what it is that is in that part that made it so you could publish. And then you probably have to get rid of something there.
Yeah, I got into the habit of I would create every half an hour. I'll save, exit, make a copy of the level, and then every couple of hours I'll try to publish. I'll do a test publish and then unpublish, so that in case you run into that bug where it won't publish, then you go, okay, something I did in the last 2 hours screwed it up. I at least know that it wasn't at the beginning of the level.
Now, did you ever run into the problem where you couldn't publish?
I ran into it once, I think, and I forget which level it was that I ran into that with. But it turned out to be, I just basically reverted to the prior copy of the level that I had made, and it worked. So I only lost like 20 minutes of work or something like that. Mm-hmm. And it was 20 minutes of goofing around and not actually accomplishing anything. So
did you think you put out like a crap load of stickers or something, or what do you think caused it?
I don't actually know because I recreated the same thing and it didn't run into the same problem. I have a feeling it had to do with the way in which I created the whatever it was that locked it up. It was like I copied or material changed something versus the second time I did it, I like picked the material and painted with it or something. I can't remember exactly, but I did it two slightly different ways with the same output, and it worked the second time. So.
All right.
So I'll move on to general gaming, or I should say we're going to move on to general gaming because it's not just me. We both are because we're both freaks for this kind of stuff. A couple of the big news items for general gaming this last week. The one that I am the most insanely excited for is Elder Scrolls V.
That's something we're both excited for because I love the Elder Scrolls game, and I would probably say that Oblivion it's tied for my favorite game I've ever played.
I got Elder Scrolls 3 for the original Xbox quite some time after it came out, so I got it cheap, as is my way. And I played the heck out of it. So I forget where I read this, but somebody described it as so you have like World of Warcraft is a massively multiplayer online role-playing game.
Mm-hmm.
Elder Scrolls is a massively single-player offline role-playing game. It plays just like Ultima or Warcraft, but it's just with you, which it feels like you're not alone, even though it's just you in the game. It's really the size of the world, and I think Elder Scrolls 3 is bigger than Oblivion as well. I think the world is a lot larger.
And there were some fun bugs in Morrowind, weren't there, where you could like jump, like you could level up your jump so high that you were like jumping over walls you weren't supposed to be able to jump over and stuff.
Yeah, there was that one. There was let's see. Of course, I always tend to end up power gaming stuff. I don't know why I do that, but I do it. Like you could take the controller and like jump in the river and swim, like get yourself stuck in a corner and like swim against the bridge and like rubber band the stick down and then like go to bed and then get up the next morning and like your athletics is maxed out. And you can do all these amazing things after that. There was a lot of things that were like that you could do. And I figured out that if you leveled up your hiding and your stealing, that you could basically get the very best objects in the entire game very early on, which sort of made it unfair. It made all the fights a little on the boring side. But no, Oblivion that's all I played for probably about 6 months when I first got my PS3.
Yeah,
that's all I did.
6 months, but I'm sure I had a few months in a row where I was playing it. So did you like Oblivion or Morrowind more?
I probably like Oblivion more. It's just a beautiful game. I mean, the people talk about how the game engine is kind of aging a little bit, and the faces of the characters are a little odd sometimes, the lighting.
If you go outside, I mean, it's like a huge, outside of a town, I mean, it's a huge world, but like the trees look kind of crappy.
They look a little strange, yeah.
Yeah, but if you go into a town, everything looks perfect. I don't know, that really sticks out to me whenever I play it, because whenever I go out and my wife looks at the screen, she's like, wow, this game doesn't look very good. And I was like, well, watch this, and I walk into a town, and it just looks beautiful, so.
We're going to go to our question and answer section, our very last section, and we're going to go through this and answer as many questions as we possibly can in the time that we've got. So apologies in advance if we don't answer your question, but we're going to try. Okay, first one, Happy Green Cactus from Little Big Planet Central. How does Destiny work?
Yeah, I don't really know how to answer this question. I don't usually read the questions through in advance, but for some reason I noticed this one, and I wasn't really sure what he's asking about, because, I mean, there's the system where you can go down to the planets, or you're picking up, what did I call it, enthalpium throughout the level, and that affects things that take place. So, I mean, it would probably take me half an hour to try to even figure out what he's talking about and then answer all the questions. So, yeah, it works.
Just say it's magic.
Yeah, it's magic. That's a good answer.
Good. There we go.
So,
okay.
Jump ahead to random person 3459's question. It's, could you shoot an apple off my head with a bow and arrow?
Actually, surprisingly, I probably could. I actually am into archery in real life. Although I'd probably hit you in the head a few times first, so that would be bad. But Dr. Pepper 96, Little Big Land. Pie or cake?
Pie.
Cake. Red or blue?
Blue?
Yeah, blue. I was trying to read too much into that. I was thinking maybe Halo. No, I'll just go with blue. PSP or PS3? I think.
I'm going to assume we're not talking about Little Big Planet, and then I would definitely pick PS3.
Yeah, that's probably true. PS3. 3D or no 3D?
That's tough. I think currently I'd go with no 3D. I know both of us are seeing Tron tonight, and
yes.
I got a special ticket to see it at 8 today, which is the day before it comes out, and I have to watch it in 3D, but I would definitely choose not to watch it in 3D if I could.
Interesting. I would say definitely 3D.
I don't know. Most of the time, Avatar looked good, but then I watched something else, and I've seen a few things in 3D where it's just terrible. So, I mean, it's really up to whether they film it in 3D. I guess if they film the whole movie in 3D, I can go for 3D, but most movies don't do that.
I'm afraid for the 3D versions of Star Wars. I really am. I think they're
I haven't thought of that yet.
I almost don't want to see it, as big of a fan as I am. So if we're talking about Star Wars, no 3D. If we're talking about everything else, I say 3D. Dog or cat?
I'd go with cat. It's probably what people wouldn't expect. So yeah, I'll
Oh,
go cat.
okay. So I got to go with dogs because my dogs listen to this and they'll be upset if I say cat. So.
All right, so on to the next question, which is by Izuk. Is that how you spell it? Or how to say it?
That's how I'd say it.
Yeah, so it's, do you know, is Cambridge Studios creating updates or level packs for Little Big Planet PSP or just planning to make this sort of thing? So, yeah, you got an answer for that?
I think the answer is there's a good chance not. Yeah, they're not. I really would have liked to have seen at least a second level pack, but looks like that's not going to happen.
I was talking to someone about that a few days ago, and I was saying, I really think that the levels that we get out of the community turn out to be better than what, like, the Turbo Pack was.
Or at least as good, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, some of the levels from, what was that competition called that I ran? We had levels from, like, Arrestor or Mabo or whatever you want to call them. Mm-hmm. That was just plain incredible. I mean, but by far better than what was anything in the Turbo Pack. And there were a few levels by other people that were awesome. Now, I mean, I guess it's kind of unfair to compare because you can take a lot of the concepts they used in that. Like, I know when I made Greenie Go Home, I took some of the ideas like using two vehicles in tandem. I'd never thought about that before.
Right.
And they did that with the bridge builder and the tank. And I thought that was just amazing. Like, I couldn't believe how awesome that was when I played it for the first time in the Turbo Pack.
Yeah.
But then it was easy to take that concept and make something that was better. So I guess it's really up to how you look at it. I mean, we get new concepts from Media Molecule and Cambridge, and that can help the whole community to build those concepts in their levels. So I guess it would be really nice to have them, but at the same time, I think the community can do just as fine as long as there's people doing original things that can help the levels to change over time.
Yeah, I agree. And the DLC is nice, but it's also kind of a crutch. So for all of you out there that are bummed out that there's no more DLC for PSP, I say suck it up. Start building better levels. Corey, 710-1995, is the Hoarder real? And the Hoarder is in reference to the Kindred project for Little Big Planet PSP.
And yes, he is very real.
Yes. Do you feel there will be LBP2 for PSP?
I do not. I guess they might be able to make it, or they might make it for PSP2. I wouldn't be surprised if they did that at all, but I'm pretty confident they won't make one for the original PSP.
You don't think so?
So you think they will?
I would imagine that they would. I would hope they do the same sort of a thing where they make a new story mode and a couple of character enhancements and incorporate the community levels. I mean, this is my pipe dream. I would love it. I would hope that they're doing that. There's a good chance that they won't. But I mean, I happen to think the game was probably pretty successful.
See, I thought the game was successful, and I think we have for it being a PSP game, I can't believe what an amazing online community it has.
Yeah.
But I don't know, with them cutting the DLC off, I guess there's a chance maybe they did that because Cambridge is working on Little Big Planet 2. I don't know, but I have feelings that is not the case, and I don't know. I would be very surprised if there's an announcement of Planet 2 at like E3 of next year. I'd be very.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you very much for listening, and thanks for all the feedback that we've received so far. We're thrilled that everybody likes the podcast, and we're having fun with it, and we're planning on keeping it up for quite a while. If you've got anything you'd like us to talk about, anything you'd like to cover, and as before, if you'd like to, hey, maybe help us out or be a guest speaker or something, or send one of us a message on Little Big Land or Little Big Planet Central or Twitter or iTunes. We're on iTunes now. So.
Not to cut off the outro, but real fast, I wanted to mention, I should have said this in the news. On Little Big Land, there's a Christmas pod decorating competition.
Oh, yeah.
There are some awesome prizes. I didn't pick any of the prizes out, but I was amazed. There's like there's a real-life Week 1 t-shirt. I haven't even seen those before.
Really?
Yeah, so I know we can't make this go on for long, but I mean, there's a bunch of other keychains and all this kind of stuff I'd never seen, and it's not that hard to, just build a pod. It's not like building a whole level. So if anybody's interested, that's something that's going on now, and it's probably going to end soon. So go take a look at that.
Definitely do that, just in time for the holidays. That's awesome. Well, that wraps up this episode of the Pocket Podcast. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you at the next episode.
See ya.